What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel for a very big, massive, as Joe Legowski called it, game-changing update video here. These are going to be my first impressions, kind of walking through a little bit what I did to get this set up. But game-changing update video here for the Square Golf launch monitor. So it just got released this morning. Right now, it's you guys should be seeing this on Tuesday, but right now it's Monday, January 13th, 2025. It was rumored the update was going to be yesterday, Sunday. I recorded my ball dot sticker video yesterday, so you guys should be seeing that today. And I'm going to edit this tonight the best that I can, and hopefully everything works good, because I actually have another live stream coming up with another GS Pro course designer by the name of C-Drum. If you guys are familiar with him, he did Hillbilly Hills, he did Jurassic Park 3, a few other Sandy Shores, Concrete Jungle, just to name a few. Hopefully I didn't mix any of those up, but hopefully everything works good. But in any event, we're going to go through here first impressions. There was really 4 updates that went through. I took some notes on my phone. I know last time I went through the update process with you guys, this one was a little bit different, so it was a little bit lengthier. I didn't want to bore you guys with all that, but basically with this update, there was an operating system update, there was a firmware update, there was an app or software update that you're seeing here, like the Square app, and there was also a GS Pro connector update. So first thing I did, I followed the instructions. You guys can look at it online on the software page at the bottom. There's like a couple how-to pages of how to do the software. I've never connected the Square to my computer before. I don't know if they recommend that just for a stable, quicker update process, but I know basically the cameras, something's changed as far as the Square goes, and this was a pretty big overhaul from my understanding. But first thing I did was the operating system as far as the Square itself update. So what I did was I downloaded it and unzipped it. Make sure, one thing that I did do, I used just regular standard charging cables for the USB-C. I tried 2 different cables and I wasn't able to get it to connect within the kind of app update program, the exe file. So one thing you do want to do, which I didn't do at first, I had to go grab it after the fact, but make sure you're using the actual Square cable. That I'm assuming the 2 cables that I tried before were solely charging cables. The cable that comes with the Square is I'm assuming charging and data, so it's able to connect it and kind of send information back and forth. So make sure, I've already saw on Facebook there's a couple people that said that they couldn't get the device to recognize, so make sure you're using the actual Square cable. Turn the unit on, plug it in, your computer should kind of ding and recognize it. Run the update. After that, it'll shut it down, it'll close it. Next step, you're going to want to do the firmware update. Before, I've done it just in the app before, but I figured I'd follow all the instructions. I don't want to mess anything up. This is a important update, but similar process. You download the firmware update on the website, you extract it, you extract the other one too, basically unzip it, but same thing, turn on the Square, plug it in, run the firmware exe. Third step I did was actually no, so the third step was the app update. Unplug and turn off the Square. You download the new app from the website, the Windows, and you just run that. It actually replaces the old Square app on your computer, so you don't have to worry about deleting the one. And then finally what I did was I deleted the old, I think it was 9.7. We're up to 0.9.8 on the GS Pro connector. You are going to want to delete the old connector, so you want to delete the old one, download the new one, and install it. I would recommend, I didn't do it in the past, and I don't even know if they were up there. Right now, they have 0.96, 0.97, and 0.98 as far as the GS Pro connectors. I would highly recommend just downloading all 3. The file sizes are small, but just leave it in a separate folder on your computer, just in case there's any issues with this one. I know the one previous that I was using, 0.97, there was an issue with the side spin going over to GS Pro. So it's my recommendation. I think it's a smart idea just to keep as many of those older connectors as you can, just so if there's ever an issue, you can just easily go back to the other one. But that took me probably 20-30 minutes between me switching out the cables and making sure I followed the steps correctly. So after that, I came out here. I did just go through the app. I turned it on. I had to switch a couple things around. I was doing some testing yesterday. I was struggling to get like anything 7 foot and under 5-7 feet and under for putts to read, and I found out. I thought it was possibly the firmware, but after a bunch of testing, I ripped up this mat to kind of switch things around. I tested it on here. Come to find out, I had a little bit of a drop off here in front of my mat, so that little bit of a drop off was messing with the really short putt. So I put some extra foam tiles here, gym mats, just to prop it up. I haven't tested the putting yet, but that was, like a lot of things, user error on my part, and nothing to do with the square or the software or the firmware or anything. But I did fire it up, so I put the ball here, make sure it's right in the middle of my hitting zone like I like, and I did also the alignment to where I have it pretty much dialed in. So after all that talking, let's log in here and let's see what this new update has in store for us. So we found the square. Oh, here we go. So that's the first time it didn't do that. The first time it struggled to find the square, I had to refresh it. Sometimes I have noticed this. I don't know if you guys do that too. When you log in, that I don't know if you guys saw the error thing. It popped up. It's saying no device found, and then the app crashes. I don't know if that's just me or user error again. I don't believe that is, but I've had that happen before. Same thing with the GS Pro connector. So you guys are probably looking at a black screen right now. What I'm going to do is load up the software once again. Hopefully that's something they can fix in the future. It's not a huge deal. I haven't had it crash mid-round or anything on me before, or mid-practice session. It's just at the startup. So we're back here. Continue. It found the square. Sometimes I find it helps if you give it a second or two, oddly enough. But all right, we're connected. Oh, it's going to crash again. I know as soon as if I click the square and it says no device on the top left, I know it's going to crash. This thing's going to crash again. And oddly enough, I found sometimes you get to do it like 3 times and then it works. I don't necessarily know if there's any rhyme or reason, but that's 2 crashes now. Funny enough, the first time I loaded up to do the alignment, it was fine. So here we go again. The NVIDIA kind of graphics overlay pops up. I let that go away. I'll give it a second, take my own advice of waiting a second or two. Shouldn't really have to do that, but all right, there we go. It found the device. Hopefully we're in now. Nope, it's going to crash again. Oh boy. We are not off to a great start here. I do have some notes as well. George Bradshaw is kind of the Square rep liaison, so to speak, in the Facebook group. He posted an update, a post. The first one, I guess, got deleted. The second one I took screenshots of to let you guys know the main components of this update. I guess might as well read those now while hopefully we can get this to go. All right, there we go. Now, so I know my video I think is on the top left, so it was cutting off. But those other times where it crashed up here, if you can maybe see on the projector, it shows that my Square unit is connected. Those other times when you click it, it finds it, and then you go into it and it shows no device, it's automatically going to crash, at least from my experience. But we're in. So the main updates here, he says you can find the OS and the firmware and everything on the support tab at squaregolf.com, but the main things here are improved ball ready UI, enhanced user face for better clarity and ease of use during the ball setup, get rid of the habit of looking down before shooting the ball, and use a different expression. So I don't know, I'm assuming that means on the gameplay before you would have to put the ball down and the camera would be looking up and down. I don't know if they changed possibly the ready to the ding. We'll see about that. Main things for me, because I'm mainly a GS Pro user, but enhanced spin measurement, accuracy, and new ball capability, which is the big thing. If you guys saw Joe Legowski's live stream, they're incorporating the TP5 Pix balls. I actually have a dozen of those being delivered today from Amazon, but for the time being, these were just 2 balls that I had in my bag. I have a TP5 Pix ball that I'm going to try out here once we get to hitting. This is the American flag one. We'll see if that works. I also have the Callaway, either True Viz or True V, however you say it. It's rumored that the red one doesn't work, but again, unfortunately, this is the only one I had. I'll be doing, as soon as those get delivered, I'll do another update video, so you guys should be seeing a video tomorrow solely on the TP5 Pix balls. But pretty cool addition to that. So removes the ball dots that I was putting on. You don't have to necessarily just rely on the club stickers now in regular balls, and you don't have to worry about using the proprietary Square balls, which is awesome. And I did want to give a shout out to Square. They're listening to the community. They're taking notes of our problems that we have. They're putting these updates out really quick. If you guys ever had another launch monitor, there would be times where there would be months in between where you'd be super frustrated with an issue and it would take forever for them to get them out. They've been pumping out these updates. Yeah, there's been bugs and some other stuff that's not perfect in the other ones, but they're on the ball. I've been very happy with these guys, with the Square team, putting out stuff, adding stuff. And if you think about it, as far as these TaylorMade balls, if you guys aren't aware, basically the main thing is now you can use the Pix balls or the Callaway balls, and it's going to accurately measure. You could always use them, but it's going to accurately measure the backspin and the side spin, similar to it would with the Square ball. So if you think about it, they're essentially eliminating a revenue stream for themselves, which is awesome. For us, it makes it a lot better because we can just go to Amazon, Dick's Sporting Goods, Golf Galaxy, Walmart, whatever, and just buy these balls off the rack. We don't have to wait for balls that are out of stock or super high priced, or people have had issues with the Square ball saying that they're not the most premium ball in the world. But for them just to be able to add the capability of these balls and essentially eliminate a revenue stream for them, they're not making any money. When I bought the Callaways or the TaylorMade picks on Amazon. So pretty awesome on their part. Again, this Square is very, very value rich as far as this launch monitor goes, but enhanced spin access, accuracy, and new ball capability, like I said. Improve accuracy for standard marking balls. That's the official Square ball, so improved readings from those. Added capability of TP5 picks and select Callaway balls. OS update required. That was the first thing I went over. So again, operating system, I'm assuming that's what OS stands for the actual Square itself. Then you got to do the firmware. Then you got to do this app software update, and then also the GS Pro connector if you guys use that. It says new ball type selection option added to the app for better customization. And then finally, battery indicator fix and improved runtime, OS plus firmware. So it says resolve battery level display errors, enhance battery efficiency for extended use. And then after that, lower, he had some steps to how to go through it. But as far as the battery, I kind of had a suspicion of that. Right now, I had it fully charged. I just turned it on and off a couple times when I was doing those updates. But on the top left, I know my video is probably cutting it off, but I'm at 93%. I had a feeling before that there was a bug between, I don't think that necessarily the battery, and a lot of people that have had this issue, I don't think the battery, and this now kind of confirms it. I never thought that the battery itself was bad, because I would go turn it on, it would be down to like 75, it would jump up to 90, down to like 40, 30, like 50, and then it would be blinking that the battery was low, and it would still work for like another hour or two. So basically it was just a bug from what the Square was reading the battery level to what it was telling the app. So apparently that fixed it, and now they optimized it for an even longer runtime. But as far as I haven't even clicked through a lot of this stuff. As far as the new capabilities here, one thing that caught my eye, so settings, now I guess you can select server location, auto location, so you can go Asia, Europe, or USA. I would assume that's for people who have had issues where it said like the server was busy. This will probably split it up a little bit and kind of transfer the traffic around a little bit better. Swing stick is still the same. Putter, golf ball premium, these are still the same. So if you feel like your distances are either a little bit long or short on any of these, you can go 0%, 5%, or 10%. I've been leaving it on 5 right in the middle, similar to what I use on GS Pro. I use 2,500 feet of altitude, which equates over to 5%. BGM, that's background music. Sound effect on. Yards and feet, miles per hour. And the spin measurement, this is the main one now. That is the difference. So if you click spin measurement down here on the bottom right, I haven't even clicked through this. So it's saying you can set it to either standard or advanced. Measure the ball spin for standard pattern of Square golf. For other balls, spin is estimated using speed, direction of the ball, and trajectory of the club. So basically standard, if you don't want to change anything, you want to keep using regular balls like plain white balls, or if you want to keep using the Square balls, if you bought some of those or you made your own dots, you would leave it on there. But the big difference now here is this capability of advanced. So now it says measure the spin for a golf ball in the list. It is recommended to use the standard mode for golf balls other than the list. So if we click list now, it shows my video is, I'm sure, is cutting it off, but now it's showing advanced. It's showing square golf ball, and it's showing TaylorMade TP5/TP5X picks. So it actually is showing, now that I look at this, it's showing the pattern for the USA. One thing that is different is, if you guys look really closely, I know this isn't, it's getting cut off, but maybe you can see it a little bit on the projector. If you look up the TaylorMade Picks balls, there are a couple different design patterns. They look very similar, but they have, as far as like the orange slash yellowy ones, that the standard Picks ones you buy, they have triangle patterns, and they also have kind of like a square hexagon type of pattern. They both have those listed. People were wondering about those, so was I. I was hoping I didn't buy the wrong one. So those apparently both work, so the ones that are coming from Amazon will be good. And the only thing that I am worried about is, again, this one was just in my bag. It shows that the American flag one, it has to be more of that hexagon, full square type of pattern versus the triangle, both of them. This one that I have here is just the triangle as far as the USA pattern, but I would assume if that one can work with the triangle with the regular picks, we'll try this out and see if that works. At least we'll answer a question here. But so I guess first and foremost, what I'm going to do, we'll try out. I think people are probably going to want to see this, but apparently too, someone asked a question. The Callaway balls, the soccer balls, I've heard the red doesn't work great with the infrared. That ball picture isn't listed, but apparently you do select this and you can still use these. I would assume the soccer ball pattern with the black or blue or maybe a darker color would work better, but I know it's not listed, but they did say those TruViz Callaway soccer balls do work, so we're going to leave it on advanced. I am curious about which one would be better. Those TaylorMade balls, they are expensive. They're about $5 a ball, so if I'm just out here hitting balls, I'm probably not going to be beating up those expensive TaylorMade balls. I'll probably just use some regular ones, so I am wondering what the best one would be. I would assume I would go back to standard if I'm using just plain white balls, no markings on it with my club sticker. I would assume I would want to do that, but I guess we could test that maybe, and then we'll go over a big thing too. I'll show you guys when we go over to GS Pro to test it. They do have that same ball measurement selection in the GS Pro connector. People were wondering about that, which is awesome. So when you load up the GS Pro connector, it'll allow you to select either the standard or the advanced, like I just showed you. So when you're loading up GS Pro, you can actually use the TP5 Picks balls in GS Pro as well, which is awesome. So as far as I know, the battery kind of is what it is. Enhanced spin axis, that's just like an improvement. I don't know if I'll be able to necessarily notice anything right off the bat, but basically for this, we're going to go premium 5% ball, adding a little bit of distance because they do seem a little bit short. People were hoping that this one would be club head speed being added. It's rumored that's supposed to be coming, and from all the testing I have seen, it does seem like the ball speeds are a little bit lower. Triple Bogey Golf, Ben, has a great YouTube channel. He has a couple different units that he tests side by side. There's probably some interference issues, but on average, from what I've seen from him, the square reads pretty much every single shot 2 to 3 miles an hour slower on ball speed, and sometimes upwards of 5 with quicker swings with like driver or whatnot. So we'll see. I have no really way to test. I don't have another side-by-side unit to test the ball speeds, but if he does another test, I'll be tuning into that. He does a lot of stuff with live streams where he just puts up all the metrics and runs everything at once. But after that lengthy intro, let's go over to the driving range with, again, I do just want to make sure I have that all set. So spin, advanced, premium ball. Let's try this out. So the best way that I know how to do this to see if things actually changed is, I know we'll test on the club selection. So with driver, that was an issue I was having. It wasn't the end of the world. Basically, if you were hitting driver, you had to have driver selected. Obviously, if you're in GS Pro or you're doing anything else, putter needs to have putter. And then it seemed like from my testing, anything else with regular balls, you could just select anything. So you could select like 7-iron, and you could hit everything from 60 degree down to like 3-wood off the deck, and the spin would be pretty good based on what I read before. Kind of it's using the club path and it's using the trajectory and all that stuff to estimate stuff. But the best way I know how to do this is I have my old 8-iron, so no club sticker. I have driver selected. So if this thing is accurately picking up this TaylorMade Pix ball. Again, this is the triangle pattern versus more of like the hexagon type. Well, I hear something backing up. That could even be Amazon coming right now. My dog's barking. It could be Amazon. So the ready symbol's still on. We're there. Basically, the best way I know how to test this is just hit some shots like this with the old 8-iron that doesn't have the club sticker, so I know it's not estimating anything, and having driver selected. So usually with the regular balls, it would default back down to like 2,000 RPMs on the backspin. If this thing is actually picking up the ball correctly, the backspin should be a lot higher, and there should be side spin populated. So, moment of truth here. I probably should have warmed up a little bit first, but kind of is what it is. Look at that. That is awesome. Wow. So, Toei, not very good shot. Obviously, no club data selected because, I'm just testing it, the new capabilities of none of the stickers. So no data is going to be populated over there. It will once I switch over to my actual gaming clubs that I play. But look at that. So we had, it was very cold out again, as you can tell how I'm dressed, and that was a pretty short 8-iron. But first swing of the day, 6,254 backspin, left side spin of 690, and again, so at least that solves that. You can use pretty much either pattern of the either the square or the more rectangular ones of the American flag version, the TP5. I guess while we're at it, so just for comparison, like I was saying before, I guess I should have hit this one first, but this is just a regular ball now, plain Callaway Chrome Soft, no markings, nothing. If I hit this with driver selected, I guess we'll test it, but it should default back down because it's not getting any information between the club sticker and any of the markings on the ball. I would guess that the backspin is going to be back down towards like 2,000, and there should be no side spin. But as far as plain regular balls, okay, so 6,820. So I actually like that. So I still have driver selected. Like I was saying before, I was probably making a big deal out of it, but between here and GS Pro, when I'm warming up or I'm just going to the range, I like just loading it up and not having to remember to select. There's been multiple times, even though I knew how I had to do it, there would be multiple times where I would forget to change the driver to like 7-iron or anything else. So now I have a regular ball. That was just again plain Callaway Chrome Soft, and we're back up to estimating the side spin based on the launch and everything else at 6,800. So that leads me to believe anytime I want to practice here on this range or over on GS Pro, I just simply fire it up, and I don't even have to mess with the club selection, which I love. I was really hoping that they would fix that, and I was kind of complaining about that last time. So that's awesome. I'm going to hit one more, and again, because there's no markings, no club sticker, no side spin on that, but you would expect that from a plain white Callaway ball here. 7,205. So I would assume this would probably be the same, I would assume, if I was using, instead of the advanced spin measurement as far as the TP5s go, I would assume this would be the same if you were just using plain white balls. You just want to use whatever ball you want. You don't want to mark them up. This would be the same if I had the standard selected. It would still be, the backspin would be back to where it should be with driver selected, which is awesome. So we tested the TP5, we tested the regular ball. Let's try. Again, I know there's been rumors that the red won't work, but we'll know right away here with the 8-iron no club sticker. If we start getting the side spin, we know that the red actually works. Maybe it's a little bit temperamental. I wanted to note that when Joe was doing the live stream, he had some notes from Square themselves, and they said that just for this update, it will work, but for the time being, until the next update comes out, there may be a little bit of variance between, if you're using a Callaway ball or the TP5X, between like 200 and 400 RPMs. If that's a big thing for you, if you're a scratch player, I don't know if you'd have or a pro, semi-pro, college golf, or whatever. I don't know if you'd have the square anyways. For me, I was using estimated numbers with the regular balls and the club stickers anyways, so anything that's being measured is awesome. But they did note that just for the time being, they just need to refine it a little bit more going forward. So they may be a little bit off. Granted, you can't hit the same shot anyways if you were using the square ball versus these. Like, we're not robots, so it'd be tough to tell anyways. But they did mention that the spin numbers may just be a little bit more, have a little bit more variance compared to normal. But let's try the Callaway soccer ball. Okay, so must be estimated backspin, I'm assuming. It did not pick up the side spin. It could be one of those things where maybe half the time it picks up these soccer balls and half the time it doesn't with the red ones. Like I said, I would probably recommend the black ones or like a dark blue if you could find those. But 1 for 1, no side spin. No side spin again. We'll hit one more and then we'll hit a few more with the TaylorMade Pix ball. So it does seem like it doesn't like the red. It probably has a tough time telling with the infrared, probably a tough time distinguishing. It does make sense that that these are a little bit darker, so there's a higher contrast. Same thing with the other TaylorMade balls. One more here with the red soccer ball. So it's doing a decent job from what I can tell. That was thinner, so a little bit lower backspin. It's doing a decent job estimating the backspin, but just no side spin is being picked up on those. So far, we were 1 for 1 with the TaylorMade Pix. I like the fact that if you're just using a plain white ball, it's estimating the backspin again without having to change the club selection. And now we'll hit a few more with the TaylorMade. This is awesome. I'm really excited about this. That felt right. Lower backspin, right side spin of 198. And again, like I've been saying, no club sticker, so obviously none of the club data is populating. However, we got measured backspin and we got measured side spin. At least we have measured side spin. Who knows if sometimes it misses it and it defaults back to estimated, but from my understanding, you guys just saw when I was hitting the Callaway didn't seem to work in the regular balls. We had no side spin at all populate, so far we're 2 for 2 as far as the Pix balls go. Unfortunately, last week, so we had left side spin 4,900. Unfortunately, last week I spent about $30 on the vinyl, and I was trying to make my own balls, and I put some black streak marks. You guys should be seeing that video right now. I put some black marks on my screen, unfortunately, trying to maximize the square, and go figure, right after I do that, spent the money on the vinyl, used the hole puncher to cut them out, marked up some balls, and then partially ruined my screen. They come out with this update. Would have been nice if it was like a couple days before I did that, but very happy nonetheless for this to be able to work. We'll hit one more. I am curious if we go back. So, I mean, similar shots. I'm catching these a little bit thin. First few swings of the day, it's really cold out, but it is what it is. So far, it's picking up the TaylorMade Pix ball, that USA pattern. I know it's kind of dark in here, but this is the pattern I'm talking about here. It has the triangle. So the other ones have a little bit more of a square shape. This one is a perfect triangle, but so far it's picked up every single one of these, which is awesome. We'll just try 2 more here with the Callaway soccer ball, and I am curious if I go back, if I exit out of the menu, I just want to hit a couple shots. If I go back over to the standard ball, what would happen if I hit any of these, or the standard setting instead of advanced, and then we'll go over to GS Pro and try that out. So again, no side spin. We'll hit one more. Hopefully I'm not putting... These balls are much better because they're actually like part of the ball. I was just hoping I wasn't putting any kind of red marks or anything, that these aren't working anyway. So I'm not even going to hit another one. So far, the red Callaways don't work. Unfortunately, I don't have another ball to test, like a black soccer ball one. But so far, I would highly recommend. I can put a link down below in the TaylorMade balls that I got. This thing works great with the seemingly this new update with the TaylorMade Pix balls. And so far, I mean, no reads. Every single time I've hit that Pix ball, it's picked up the side spin, which is awesome. I am curious. I just want to go over real quick. Like I said, I'm going to exit out of this, and I am going to just change it back to standard and see what happens if I hit all three of those balls. Obviously, you'd have even more accurate data if I start using my actual clubs. I'll be doing that tomorrow. I'll probably switch back and forth between my actual clubs and this unmarked 8-iron here to do a test when my TaylorMade Pix balls get delivered. But we're going to quit. We're going to go right back into it, but I just want to change this back and see what happens. So instead of advanced here, we're going to go to standard. This is what you would use again if you're using the regular square balls. So we're going to go into here, then we're going to go back to the driving range, and then we'll wrap this up by going over to GS Pro and testing that out, the new connector, and just hit some balls on the range quick. So first what we're going to do, we're going to hit, same thing, driver selected. This is what I like to do. I like loading up the range, and I like not having to remember to select that or not. We're going to hit a regular plain white Chrome Soft, again with this unmarked 8-iron. So obviously there's not going to be no expectations for side spin. I have found that, oddly enough, like there's a very few and far between. It must be how I have like the logo positioned when I kind of just toss it down. Sometimes you will get a rare one that it does pick up side spin, probably based on the logo going by the square. Not that I expect that, but main thing here is now with the standard setting, I'm just curious about the backspin numbers with drivers still selected. All right, I really like that. So 7,400. Again, that's just estimated based on the speed, the launch, everything else. That would even get more refined, I would assume. I kind of talked about this, and I would assume the way it works is, number one, it's looking for a ball with marking on it. So either now the TP5 or the square ball. After that, it defaults back to get the most accurate read. It probably defaults in the order of priority. So marked ball. Number two would be the club data. And then number three would be what I read before, like the launch angle and everything else as far as estimating. So that one was just estimated, but my main concern was having driver selected to see if it would pick up. Now I'm curious if I hit the TaylorMade Pix ball with the standard ball selected, if we will get any kind of... Okay, so we do have side spin populated on that. So I would assume based on that, it does work. I have the standard ball selected kind of against what they recommended. I would assume it's probably looking for the different dot pattern, so maybe this isn't quite as accurate. I'm sure they refined it. There's a whole reason. I'm sure there's a reason why they gave you two options, not just one. So it's probably a little bit more refined if you select the other one. But if you did leave it on standard, I guess that does work. 4,000 backspin, it must have picked up on that, I guess. And it had left side spin. So that worked. Let's try the Callaway ball. And back to estimated side spin. But to me, that's fine. I love having, this is how it was before on the old either firmware or app, to where you could just load it up. You didn't have to mess with the club selection. I really, really like that. That's a big, I didn't know that was going to be added to this. Kind of reverting back to where it was before. I was a big fan of that, so that's awesome. So far, very, very, very positive results so far. The main one being the fact that we can now use the TaylorMade balls to accurately measure the backspin and side spin. Oddly enough, though, like I said, I changed it back to the standard. It seems like it does work, but I guess it's just probably a refinement factor. It's probably, obviously, on this setting, it's looking for the square ball. Ooh, so there we go. So either that one just missed it, or we got lucky somehow on the first one. So that was another shot with the TaylorMade Pix ball. I would assume, it seems like when it estimates the backspin, it's a lot higher. I'm kind of just hitting kind of easy, lower flighted. I'm not like at full pop by any means. So when it actually measures the backspin, it's a lot lower. So I can tell on that one back up towards 7,000. That estimated the backspin and it missed the side spin. The other one, obviously, if you're playing the TaylorMade balls, just go to the advanced. It's easy enough to switch it. I was just curious what would happen here. All right, that was 2 for 2. So maybe we just got lucky, and maybe one of those things where sometimes you get lucky. That may have been one of those things that I was talking about before. Maybe that first shot with the Pix ball, somehow I just had it positioned just right where it kind of tricked it and thought it picked up on something. Oh, I chunked that. All right. Well, that's 3 no reads in a row. So I think I just got lucky. I think that was a kind of an odd one, the first one where it picked up. Definitely recommend if you're going to use the Pix balls or the Callaway balls, someone will have to let me know. Definitely just change that setting to the advanced spin mode versus the standard, which you would assume is what you want to do. And don't worry, I'll be testing. I just wanted to make sure the easiest way to kind of separate things and test this is using my old 8 iron without the club sticker. I will be doing further testing with using it with the club data and all that stuff. And if you guys have anything in particular you'd like to see me test, just let me know down in the comments. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I could do something else. If you're curious about anything, let me know. So far though, I mean, I don't care about that. I have the wrong ball selected, so I can't expect that to work. But so far, awesome update. Great job by the Square team. It's removed the club selection issue that I had before. It added the TP5 balls. It apparently refined things even more. It fixed the battery issue, and now this is just a plain white Callaway. Oh, that was thin, but so that one just estimated the spin. It estimated it at 6,800. That should have been lower because that was pretty thin and heely, but we're back to where I can just fire up the range. I would assume it would be the same thing in GS Pro, which we're going to test right now, which is awesome. So, like I said, we're going to go over to GS Pro quick. I don't have the screen recording set up as far as the new connector, but what I'll do is I'll turn this light off. You guys should be able to see it on the projector. I would just have to screen capture the GS Pro connector, which isn't the most exciting thing in the world, but you guys should be able to see this when I pull this up. So we're going to quit this. We're going to log out. We're going to quit this. Now, what I do to load it, I do GS Pro first. So GS Pro is popping up here. I checked for an update. Graphics input. That input, I've never seen that before on this GS Pro. I don't know what that is. But graphics, I do 1080p Ultra. We're gonna load this. So this is how I connect the Square. I load this first. You'll see the launch monitor thing pop up here, right there. The API V1 Connect. So once that goes, I press Alt Enter to go into window mode. I minimize that, and first time trying out this GS Pro connector, so here we go. This may crash, similar to what that app did before, but we'll see. Let me minimize this so you guys can see it maybe. Can I make this any bigger? I can't. So it's in the middle of the screen. I know there's kind of some waviness on my screen. Maybe right here will be the clearest. Maybe you can see. But basically it's showing there's 2 tabs now. It's Home and Settings up top. You can scan for the Square. At GS Pro, it's showing connected. But here's the main thing. So I guess first and foremost, we'll scan and connect it. So it's connected. I don't know if there's an order of priority if you want to change the setting first or connect it first, but this other tab up here, Settings. So now it has Use Custom IP Port. I guess that's for people. Someone mentioned Foo Golf, whatever that is. I think that's maybe like the online, like if you don't have a gaming laptop, you can like utilize online like gaming capabilities, I guess. I don't know. I don't think I'll ever use that. It's unselected, but it has the ball ready sound. You can either make it a lot louder or a lot less. I leave mine lower just for the live streams. It goes through my headphones and it's pretty loud. But same thing now. Spin mode it shows, and there's a question mark. It says standard. Measure the ball spin for standard pattern of Square Golf. For other balls, spin is estimated using speed, direction of the ball, and trajectory of the club. That's kind of what I said before. And then advanced, measure the spin of the golf ball in the list. It is recommended to use standard ball for all other balls in the list. So same thing, standard selected here. It's just showing the regular, the two square balls, the premium, the 2-piece, and the 3-piece. I guess there's a 4mm dot on one of them and a 5mm on the other. And then advanced, similar to what we did on the other one. So now it's showing you can use, I guess, with advanced, it's showing you can use the square ball as well. I didn't really note that before, but it's showing you can use the square ball, and you can also use the same TaylorMade Picks balls. And again, apparently the Callaway soccer ball ones work. I am just going to close this quick. I don't know if I should have selected this first. I guess we'll go with it. I just don't know if I should have selected this advanced one first before connecting the square. We'll see if it works on the range, but I have advanced selected here. We'll go back over to home. I just leave this up and running. So now we go over to GS Pro. We go to practice range. I am really excited about, I'll turn the light back on. Really excited about the fact that I don't have to change my club selection now. That was big. So same thing, I always have it set up. I load up the GS Pro range if I want to go practice or whatever, or warm up, and it always just defaults to driver. So I leave it on there, which is awesome. So first and foremost, to see if it's still the same, I'm going to hit a plain. This thing probably needs to warm up. It's a little bit darker again. Probably needs to warm up a second. But I'm going to hit a plain Callaway Chrome softball just to see the estimated backspin number. We'll see, I guess, if the square connector works in the first place anyways. But there's going to be no side spin. But the main thing I want to see with driver selected, this thing should be back up towards, I don't know, 6,000, 7,000, whatever it was estimating the other one at. 6,100. A little bit of a delay still, and it actually picked up. That could have been one of those rare ones. So it had a spin axis, and it picked up side spin, and it measured the backspin. Obviously, no club path or face to path or angle of attack, because I'm still using the 8-iron without a sticker. That could have been one of those strange ones where I just had this thing positioned just right where it picked it up. I was not anticipating spin axis or side spin with the regular Callaway ball, but it did in fact bump me back up to 6,000 on the estimated backspin versus every single time I had GS Pro open in this range and I had driver selected, if I forgot to change it, it would all be right around that 1,900, 2,000 mark on the backspin until I realized it. But let's hit maybe a couple more, see if that's still the... I don't know if GS Pro updated too. That sounds like someone's like hitting something when the ball lands. That's kind of strange. I don't know why. So again, both of those shots, plain white chrome softs with my 8-iron. I don't know why it's picking up a spin axis and a side spin. Obviously, it's estimating it, and the backspin was a lot lower on that. It's estimating it, but that's kind of strange for that it didn't do that on the range within square, but now GS Pro with a plain white ball. That's 2 for 2 that we've gotten estimated 3 for 3. I don't like that. It sounds like someone's hitting like a cardboard box when the ball lands. That's kind of a strange sound. All right. I was not expecting that. So we're getting spin axis and side spin. And obviously those are all three of those, spin axis, backspin, and side spin, those are all estimated because I don't have club stickers on and I'm using a plain white ball. But I was not expecting that. Let's try the TaylorMade Picks ball. Again, I'll have to do some more testing. I don't know if that makes a difference because maybe there's differences in the GS Pro connector and GS Pro versus the Square software. Maybe there's a difference in that connector if I select standard or advanced ball. Maybe if you have it selected to advanced, it's looking for those. So maybe if it doesn't find them, it's doing its best job. But we've been getting spin axis to the right on those. So this is the first shot now with the TaylorMade Picks ball. I know you're kind of far away, so it's probably tough to tell exactly what ball I'm using, but I try to kind of call it out every single time. But first shot here within GS Pro with the TaylorMade USA pattern Pix ball. All right, 7,096 backspin, 0.7. Oddly, we were getting, I don't know if that was just straighter, but we were getting more side spin with the regular balls. All right, negative, that was a little bit toey. Negative 432 side spin. Negative 4.1 spin axis. Backspin was 6,000. I'm loving this. There does seem to be still, I noticed that with the last update they did, there still seems to be a little bit of a delay with GS Pro as opposed to when I first got the Square. It was instant, both on GS Pro and the Square software. Maybe they can refine that a little bit better. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but I was just super impressed when I first got the Square. Within GS Pro, I would hit the shot, and by the time I looked up, the ball would already be in the air. Now it seems maybe it's a half a second slower. This is about the same as it was with the other one. I guess while we're here, we'll try shaping two shots real quick with the TaylorMade picks. So first one, I'm going to try to hit a massive hook. I'm going to shut down my stance, shut down the face. There should be lower spinning, and there should be a sizable spin axis and side spin to the left. Look at that. How awesome is that? Negative 21.2 spin axis. Must have started pretty far right. Negative 1,800 side spin. I mean, I tried to hit a very sizable. We started way right of center, and it drew or hooked all the way back. That's awesome. Lower backspin because hooks and draws are going to spin a little bit lower. Now, with, again, TaylorMade ball, still using those, let's try to hit a big slice. Open the stance, open the club face. Oh, or just a ground ball. But 56 spin axis to the right, 2,700 spin axis. I mean, I hit a grounder there, so 1,800, that makes sense. It seems like it's picking up things really good. I wish I could have hit a... I've been working on the draw, so it's probably even a little bit easier for me to hit a big hook or a draw than it is a slice right now. But based on that shot, I mean, that was a low ground ball. The backspin makes sense. The side spin, I can't necessarily debate that. A little bit thin, but there we have it. 25.7 spin axis to the right. 2,000 or 3,237 side spin to the right. That's a ton. Backspin was higher just because of the fade. One more. I'm going to hit one more with the TaylorMade of a hook here just to make sure. Look at that. 2,500. This is awesome. This is awesome, awesome, awesome. Negative 26.2 spin axis to the left. Lower backspin because of the draw hook. 2,542. 2,542 of left side spin. That's awesome. I guess I do want to try this. I guess we'll do this first. I want to try the same thing. Try to hit a massive slice and a massive hook with just the regular balls. I was not anticipating those side spin numbers to pick up, and at least they did too. It's awesome that everything is working really good with these Pix balls. It's awesome too that they fixed side spin going over. On the old GS Pro connector, it was picking up all that, and it was picking up the spin axis, but for whatever reason, the side spin number wasn't populating. Now we're going to go back over to the plain white Callaway Chrome Soft, and we're going to do the same thing. Let's see if this thing can somehow pick it up. I don't know how it would, but let's see if we can hit a massive hook and a massive slice with the plain white ball. Nope. So I wonder if we just got lucky. Maybe it just missed that one. Maybe we got lucky on some of those other ones. That's what I was expecting with the plain white ball. It should be 0 spin axis and 0 side spin because it's not picking up on anything. We'll try to hit a couple more with this plain white ball, and then we'll wrap this up by hitting just a couple with the Callaway ball on GS Pro to see if that registers. But very strange. What did we get? 3 or 4 in a row where it picked up side spin on the plain white ball somehow? Again, it could be, I could have just been, when I roll this on, maybe it was perfectly with like the logo facing one way. Maybe somehow it just perfectly picked up on it. I did that one kind of facing the unit. Try to hit a big hook again. Oh, I chunked it. Yeah, so that's what you would expect, though, using a ball, using a club without club stickers, and a regular ball. That one should have. I mean, I hit it terrible. That should have been a nosedive left, and it just reads it as it gets the start line, and it just reads it as a dead straight shot from there. One more. Very strange though. We had those first couple. Maybe it's because I'm exaggerating it so much. Maybe if I hit a little bit more of a regular shot. I chunked that again. All right, another one. No spin axis. Very strange. I feel like I do something and I like almost draw a conclusion and then it goes right back to the opposite of what I was seeing. So the first couple we hit, we went over to GS Pro with the regular white ball. It was picking it up and now it's not as far as the side spin goes. But one final shot shape test with the plain white ball. All right. No side spin, but I wasn't expecting it. That would populate. Just for example, if I grab my gaming 8-iron, this is my P770 8-iron. This has the club sticker on it now. Granted, you would probably want to go back to the standard ball within GS Pro if you're using plain white balls and using club stickers, but now this should pick up on the club path. So these numbers should populate. So club path should populate, face to path should populate, and angle of attack should populate, and it'll be estimated backspin and side spin and spin access based on everything that I read before with the club sticker now. So plain white Callaway ball. And I was trying to hit a hook, and we hit it. 1,040 side spin, 19.9 spin axis to the left. Backspin was pretty low. Let's see. Again, maybe I just didn't hook that one quite as much. Let's see if we can hit one more. Really, really hook this one. 2,500. So that's pretty awesome. So it's working really good. Those numbers were similar. And again, I mean, I was trying to hit a massive hook there. So you can see 13.7 club path. I aimed really far right, and I shut down my stance. 13.7 club path into out. The face was 14.3 closed, resulted in a negative 24.7 spin access, negative 25.11 side spin. Backspin was estimated. Both the side spin, spin access, and backspin obviously were all estimated based on just using a regular ball. But very, very awesome. Those numbers, honestly, again, I probably don't even need the TaylorMade Pix balls. They're expensive, but I figured to get the most out of the unit, I might as well have the unit actually measure it versus estimating it. But to me, I can hit. I was trying to hit a massive hook. I was using a plain white ball, and with the club stickers, this seems as good, if not better, than before. Do you really need, if you're just the average weekend warrior trying to improve your game, you're just getting into simulator golf, you probably don't even need the expensive TaylorMade balls, to be honest. Now with this new one, you can still just get away with plain white balls and the club stickers, and you can. It'll pretty much pick up. I'm gonna go same thing, club sticker, plain white ball. I'm gonna try to swing across this one. Club face open. Path should be pretty far from out to in this time. All right. So it did pick up the path, not as drastic as I thought it would be. I had a feeling possibly maybe it's still the case that I feel like the square could be a little bit draw biased. Like that one I felt like, I mean, it would make sense too. I'm swinging away from the unit, so you would think it would have an easier time picking up a path going from out to in, kind of closer and towards the unit versus away from it over here. This probably has a tougher time picking up on the sticker. But that one, I felt like I aimed really far left. That one should have been more. It did pick up the path of going from out to in 3.6, but it had my face was closed. I don't know about that. Granted, again, just plain white ball. I was estimating it, and it had that as a draw hook. That should have gone the other way, you would have thought, but all right, so that was a little bit more what I was expecting on that first one. Maybe that first one was a slight no-read. That time I tried to go a little bit further this way. So 14.6 degrees on the club path from out to in. Obviously, I swung way across that. That's what I would expect. Face to path, the club face was open. 2,000 side spin to the right, 16-degree spin axis to the right. That all looks good as far as I know I'm kind of switching back and forth here, but that was my actual 8-iron with the club sticker, plain white ball. Just for the sake of it real quick, I'm going to wrap this up pretty soon, but might as well just hit a couple shots with the TaylorMade ball and my 8-iron with the club sticker. So now this should make it the most accurate the square can possibly be. So it's picking up and accurately measuring the backspin and the side spin with the TaylorMade Pix ball. It's accurately measuring the angle of attack and my club path because of the sticker. So this should give the square the most information possible. A little bit toey, and should make the square an even better unit going forward. I am very, very happy and pleased with all this that I'm seeing so far. This is an awesome first test. Beside the app crashing a couple times, it kind of is what it is. That was the same as before. But it worked awesome on the square range. The GS Pro connector works great. All the information is going over. Everything is lining up exactly what I would expect. This is awesome. Maybe I didn't cover a certain thing. I'm going to wrap this one up. I got to start getting ready for my 2-man live stream coming up with Course Designer C-Drum. But I'm going to wrap this up. Maybe I went over something a little bit quicker. Maybe I didn't explain something great. Maybe there was other capabilities you want to see. I know I just hit a couple 8-irons. I didn't go through my whole bag, but the next video right after this should be me going through a full test with those brand new TaylorMade balls that I just bought. But I mean, overall, we'll see if I buy another dozen of those. They are very expensive. They come out to about $60 for a dozen. Based on what I was seeing with the club stickers and just plain regular balls, which are like you can get. I mean, you can go anywhere you want. You can buy Pro V1s that are plain. You can buy really premium balls. You can also buy balls that are a fraction of the price. Maybe I'll just go back again to plain white balls for some of them. So it did seem shorter, but that was probably because I didn't look exactly what the backspin was. I would assume with that plain white ball, the backspin was higher, so it went a little bit shorter. It seemed like the distance was pretty good. I could possibly even, too, now that I'm using these, or at least for the time being, if I start using these TaylorMade balls that it's actually measuring the backspin and the side spin, maybe I can go back down and I'm still using 2,500 feet on the altitude with GS Pro. I would assume some of the distance discrepancy, the fact that it's a little bit short, is due to the fact that it was estimating all the backspins probably higher than it should have been. If I hit one more with the TaylorMade ball, lower spinning, so 6,400, that's not a ton, but you will see some more distance on that, which is good. So I don't know. All that to say, very, very happy so far. Let me know down below your thoughts, comments, questions, concerns. If you want to see any more tests, if I should redo any of this stuff and do another test. But the very next video, like I said, will be me testing out those regular, kind of the orangish yellow TaylorMade Pix balls that are getting delivered at some point today. It says by 10 p.m. from Amazon. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Very, very impressed. Great job by the Square team. They put this out really quick. Everything seems to work awesome. Overall, very, very pleased. I don't think I have a bad thing to say. Wrapping this one up, like always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.